Hello again, my name's John. I'm a retired cook from the northeast of England in the UK, and welcome to my latest bread video. And in this one I'll show you how we make these delicious crusty bread rolls using only flour, water, salt and yeast. There is a teaspoon of sugar in there, but that's only there to activate and make sure that your yeast is alive and well. You can view the ingredients list and full written method for this recipe on the recipe page on the channel's website. I'll leave a link in the description under the video, or you can click on the eye icon top right of the screen to take you directly to the recipe page. And I'd like to thank the Patreon and PayPal supporters for their very kind help. I'll be doing the shout out and name splash a little later in the video. Okay, let's get on with today's recipe. First job is to make sure your yeast is okay. Heat your water up to approximately 40 degrees Celsius, that's 104 Fahrenheit. Add the sugar to the warm water. Once dissolved, add the yeast and whisk it in. And allow it to sit in a warm spot for 10 minutes. If there's no activity after 10 minutes, your yeast must be dead and it needs replacing. Now I'll be using my stand mixer for this one. But even though this is a fairly sticky dough, you can knead it by hand. I show you how to knead this sort of dough in my pita bread video, if you want to have a look at that one first. Right, first off, I'll mix the salt into the flour. Next, I'll add the yeast and water into the bowl. And as you can see, it formed up nicely, so my yeast is alive and kicking. And in that goes. Okay, I'll set the machine away on its slowest speed at first and start adding the flour a little at a time. You can just dump the whole lot on top of the liquid if you want, especially in large machines like this. But it can fly all over the place, so it's always best to add the flour gradually. Once it's just about mixed together, I'll scrape down the sides of the bowl. Now I'll set it away on the second speed and set the timer for 10 minutes. If you're kneading the dough by hand, you'll still need to do 10 minutes. And this is what it should look like after 5 or so minutes. And that's it done after 10 minutes kneading. And as you can see, it's very smooth but does look a bit sticky. But don't worry, it's supposed to look like this. This is a 68% hydration dough, about 8 to 10% wetter than say my sandwich loaf recipe. Okay, I'll clear the bench and be right back. Before I turn it out, I'll grease a bowl ready for the dough's first proof, and I'm just using a teaspoon of vegetable oil. Okay, sprinkle a little flour on the bench and turn out the dough. Now dust a little flour on top of the dough too. Form the dough into a ball as shown. Now clear the flour away and use the surface tension of the bench to tighten up the skin of the dough. It's quite easy once you get the hang of it, and these bench scrapers do make life a lot easier when you're handling dough. Place it in the bowl, top side down, to pick up a little of the oil, then flip it back over. Cover the bowl. I like to use a shower cap for this. We have a variety of these in the website shop, along with loads of other equipment I use in the videos if you're interested. Right, so far so good. Now get it into a nice warm spot to proof. I like to use the oven with just the light bulb on. OK, I'll set the timer for 1 hour. OK, that's the first proof done, and as you can see, it's more than doubled in size. Now, if you want, you can skip to the part where I start forming the rolls, but I like to give it a further proof for 30 minutes. It does make a big difference to the finished taste and texture of this recipe, but I strongly advise that you do this step. Now scrape out the dough onto a floured surface and dust the top of the dough again. And basically do exactly the same as I did the first time. Form it into a ball. Stretch the surface again. And get it back into the bowl. And now I'll get it back into its warm spot for 30 minutes this time. Right, that's in for the second proof for 30 minutes. OK, that's the second proof done. Now flour the surface again and turn out the dough. It's still quite sticky, so flour the dough too and knock it back as shown. And now equally divide the dough. If your measurements were correct at the beginning, your dough should be around 860 grams or just over 30 ounces. I like to use my digital scales for this. Now I'm making 6 rolls out of this batch, but you can do 8 if you prefer. Time to pre-shape the rolls. Try to use this technique. I go into a lot more detail in my dinner roll video if you want to have a look at that. Keep the bench side flour free as it needs to be slightly sticky, but to prevent your hands from sticking to it, you can periodically dip your hand in a little flour as shown. This is a great recipe for practice in handling quite a sticky dough. Once you've done this a few times, you'll wonder what you were worrying about. It's all about practice and confidence. Once all the dough balls are pre-shaped, dust with a little flour and cover with a lightweight dry cloth and allow them to rest for 5 minutes. This will make the final shaping much easier to do. A little tip: to save waste, don't waste your dusting flour. Put it back into the dusting bowl. After all, it does get saved each time. Once it becomes a little too lumpy and you have one, put it into your sourdough starter. And while you're waiting for those, you'll need to grease 1 large or 2 small baking trays. I like to use lard for this, but shortening, butter or even parchment paper is okay too. Right, on to the final shaping. With no flour on the bench, take a pre-shape and very lightly roll it back and forth into an oval shape. Now I'm barely putting any pressure on at this point. Now, using your bench scraper, transfer to the prepared baking tray. Now leave plenty of space in between each one. You don't want these rolls blending into each other. And this is another instance where your bench scraper comes in very handy. It's like having a third non-stick hand. Once the rolls are all shaped and on the tray, dust with a little flour and cover them with a dry lightweight cloth and allow them to proof and rise for 20 minutes. And this time may vary depending on the temperature of your kitchen or where you're proofing yours. Mine's going back into the warm bulb-lit oven for the first 10 minutes, and I'll let them sit on the bench for the last 10 minutes as I need to preheat the oven. Okay, with 10 minutes to go on that rise, you'll need to preheat your oven. Now before I do that, I'll add a pan of hot water on the bottom of the oven. All this does is create a steamy atmosphere in the oven which makes these rolls crispy. And then I'll set the oven temperature to 200 degrees Celsius, that's 390 Fahrenheit or gas mark 6. Okay, after only 20 minutes mine are ready to go into the oven. But first I need to score the tops using my baker's lame or blade. And as this is a wet dough, go slowly and gently with this. Do it a little at a time in short strokes like I'm doing. Once you get through that slightly tougher outer skin, it'll open up itself, as you can see. Just go very carefully and gently, it only takes a little practice. Once that's done, get them into the hot oven. And once again, sorry for the steamy camera. I opened the oven door a bit too quickly and didn't notice this had happened until I was editing. Now I like to give a little spray of water in the oven too. You can just see that. Right, that's them in the oven. Now I'll set the timer for 16 minutes. And at this point, I hope you don't mind if I give my 2 recipe books a bit of a plug. The books have lots of our favourite easy to follow recipes from our work kitchens in them. Both books are available in the website shop, along with lots of other equipment I use in the videos. And by popular demand, the skeleton style oven gloves are now available too. Just click on the eye icon top right of your screen and that'll take you directly to the website shop. Okay, back to the recipe. Now I like to turn mine around part way through for even baking, but that's entirely up to you. I hope you can see how much these have sprung in the oven. You can tell by how wide the scoring is now. And time's up and that's mine done. If you prefer yours a little darker, give them an extra 2 minutes at a time until you achieve the colour you like. And don't they look wonderful? They are so light and crispy, and I hope you can hear that, and the aroma in my kitchen is wonderful. Now I'll let those cool on a wire rack for about 15 minutes and then I'll cut one open and have a test. Right, here we go, and as you can hear, these are wonderfully crispy. The crumb inside is light and airy, and did I mention how wonderful the aroma is? Right, I'll try some with a little butter. And these are my wife's favourite rolls. She loves making these into a ham or cheese salad sandwich. And they are absolutely gorgeous. Crispy, light and delicious. And I hope you try them. Definitely a big thumbs up for these. And as promised at the beginning, here is the latest list of my Patreon and PayPal supporters. And they are Kate Bartolome, Peter Armand, Lilia Miraflor, Magdi El Sayed, Some Specialist, Alex Elenikov, Doc Shirl, Shelley Covington, Sandra Oss, Chris Mitchell, Curtis Bell, Yosan Margot, Martin Williams and Mike Churcher. And there's also one who wishes to remain anonymous. Thanks very much guys, I really do appreciate all that you do in supporting the channel. Well, thank you again for watching. Please like, share, comment and subscribe by hitting the circle above. If you do subscribe, activate the bell icon next to the subscribe button on my channel page. And by doing that, you'll be automatically notified every time I upload a new video. And in the meantime, here's a few of my other videos and playlists that you may want to watch. So, until the next time, be safe in your kitchen and bye for now.